next U.S. Senator.
Hey, hey. Wow. 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 Um, you know, at a time like this, sometimes we all here that's standing don't realize or understand the work that has been put in to get to this point. There have been many long nights. To a little lady that's sitting right over there, she has spent a lot of time alone. You really don't understand. I promise you, you really don't understand. I'll just start after May 16th. There has not been many days at all. I know there was one or two, but there haven't been many days at all where I was at home all day, just spending time with my family. They have paid a price that is unmeasurable, because when you miss time away from home, you can't get it back. You can't get it back. And there have been some heated exchanges to where the refrigerator is going out. And you're still my damn husband. There's some work around here you have to do other than campaigning, mister. So when I tell you that we are standing here and we are so overjoyed, but for me, the work that we have put in and that we have gone through is all because of her. Because if she would have said, if she ever once say that it's too much, I'm done, of course I wouldn't be standing here. Because through all of those long nights, and there were times when I got home, but I don't know how I got home when I just think about it. But I know who was the driver of the car. I was sitting in the seat and was holding my hands on the wheel. But when you don't remember stretches of the highway and you wonder how you got home, you already know. You already know. I don't want to get started yet into quote unquote an official message. I just need to get something off my chest. And we'll get to the message. Because the message don't say what I want it to say to individuals, because there are no names in the script or in the speech. But I have to thank a lot of people, because there's no way for me to be standing here where I am without some of these people. And I'm going to thank her again. Number one, she said yes, y'all, in November. I'm a political junkie, and I would get up and watch. I don't remember what was going on, what was the live feed at that time. I don't know what it was, but I was up early one morning. We were in the mountains up in Tennessee for Thanksgiving. She got up early and was like, "What's that you? You watching this TV and all you watching is politics? We on a family trip and you just hogging up the TV? And people don't want to watch this all the time. We're on vacation, Jamie." People don't. I say that's why I got up early for everybody else, so I could see what's going on. So I was out on the porch, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I guess it's the Smoky Mountains, yeah. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm making videos out on the porch, looking out over the wild range. And She was like, something is eating at you. I said, I have a mission that I need to go on, and I need to get your grace. And she said, what now? What now? It's like, I want to run for the United States Senate. And she said, another office, huh? I said, yeah, I guess another office, yeah. She's like, well, I guess let me think about it. She said yes. And the reason that I need to start this, like I need to say it, because some of the people, if I just do what this little iPad says and say with the words that they say, there are some people that won't get a thank you. And I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I always told everybody that I was a different kind of candidate. And I am a different kind of candidate. The message will start after I adequately thank everybody that was involved. I have to thank Emma and Drew, because I started this journey with Emma and Drew. I started the journey with James Gray and with Jim Harlan. And I know they done told me, look, man, you can't get up here and thank all of these people. The press is here to see you. Well, damn it, if they here to see me, they will see all of Jamie, not just a little part that they want to take and carry to the TV. Because when I said that I was a candidate for the people, how can I be a candidate for the people if I don't thank all the people that helped me get to this position? And then there's Ravis. Okay. And then there's Micaiah. Micaiah she is the MVP of this campaign. When I tell you that my little cousin worked her fingers to the bone on that computer and on her cell phone, everybody that know anything about this campaign knows who Micaiah is. Maybe the press, maybe the normal public don't know, but if you were affiliated with this campaign, you know who Micaiah is. And she deserves her roses, as people say. She has worked really hard. And then there is those little people that actually created the movement. They call themselves Indivisible Baton Rouge. Because when a candidate from Tensas Parish didn't know nobody and nobody knew him, we showed up on a street corner in Baton Rouge one January day to just protest for what's right. And up shows up a camera, and they wanted to know, what in the hell is ruckus going on this corner? And they wanted to interview Miss Lisa because she is the leader of Indivisible Baton Rouge. She is so humble. She gave her interview and says, I don't know why you want to interview me. You ought to go interview him. He's running for the United States Senate, and he's out here protesting with us. And he just stopped and immediately started looking at me and wanted to talk to me afterwards. So it has taken a long, long journey and a lot of people to make this happen. And they all need their flowers, and I'm going to give them their flowers. And then there's Mitch Klein. He don't want nothing. He just want to win. But I got to tell this story because it's really important. As crazy as it may sound, I get a phone call from a guy that's just interested in helping, interested in just being a person that wants to make a change for our community and our state. I get a phone call from Mitch, and he says, hey, man, I want to help you. I want to volunteer and do anything we can to help you win. And I said, so when you want to meet? He says, when you coming back to New Orleans? I said, I'm flying out to California for a farm conference, but I'll be back on Tuesday, which was Fat Tuesday. Yeah, laugh, because it's really funny. Really funny.
He's not kidding. You were there.
Yes. So
Thanks, Mitch.
I fly back in. Mitch gives me his address, and I said, man, don't they having parades today? He was like, yeah, but my office is not by the parade route. It's a couple of streets over. You know, Mitch kind of got a high-pitched voice. A couple of streets over, but we're off the parade route. But what Mitch didn't tell me was you have to drive to his address a certain way. You just can't put it in the GPS and hit go. Because if you hit go, you drive directly into the Mardi Gras parade. And so there we are in the middle of the parade with people walking all around the car, and we can't go anywhere. And I say, Mitch, now, bruh, you said I could get to you without going through the parade route. Well, Jamie, that you drive around the parade route? I say, Mitch, I live in Faraday, man. I don't know nothing about driving around a parade route. But we got there, and we put together a team of people that's still with us today. I'm telling you all of this to say that this unbroken mode is the way to bring Louisiana Democrats back to power. Because like I've been saying from day one, if you send a suit, you're going to get the results that suits bring you. And that's a loss. I see you looking at your watch, brother. You ready for the speech? Okay, all right. I'll give it to you, man. Thank you. Thank you, Louisiana. And thank you to every person who stood in line, called a neighbor, knocked a door, or made a sacrifice to get us to this moment. We made history together. In 1873, a former Union soldier named P.B.S. Pinchback, who happened to be a black man, reached this same point in his race for the United States Senate. He went on to win the seat twice. My grandfather was born while Pinchback was alive. He was a sharecropper on Delta land in Tensas Parish. They never met, but tonight, because of you, their paths finally crossed. It took 153 years, but for the first time since Reconstruction, Louisiana voters has nominated a black man to compete for the United States Senate. That's not black history, nor Democratic history. That's Louisiana's history. It took a coalition like the one standing behind me to deliver this moment. And it will take that same broad coalition to win in November. Yeah. Tonight isn't just about making history. It's about building a better future for every family in Louisiana. For some, this may be the first time you are hearing of me. So I want to let you know who I really am. I'm the farmer from Tensas, a businessman and somebody who believes in common sense. I'm not running this race to play games or arguments or even make history. I came to get things done. I've spent my life working the land, and that doesn't give you anything easy. We started with 700 acres and grew our family farm to 3,200. Yeah. But we did it the same way that most folks in this state live, by getting up early, staying late, and doing the work even when it's nobody watching. And I carry that same mindset into public service. working in parish government, solving real problems with real people, Republicans, Democrats, and folks who don't care much for either side. Because here in Louisiana, we don't have the luxury of partisan division when lead is found in your water systems at schools, when storms come, or when a crop fails. And that brings me to why I'm running for the United States Senate. People can't afford to live here. If you travel this state like I do, you know that North Louisiana is different from New Orleans. Lake Charles is different from Baton Rouge. And of course, the Delta is different from the Acadianas. Every region of this state has its own culture, its own traditions, and its own way of life. People from all of those places may never agree on one thing, and that's what should be in a gumbo. But everywhere I go, I hear the same things. The opportunity in Louisiana aren't matching up with the cost of living. Folks are working harder than ever, but everything still costs more. Groceries, insurance, health care, utility bills. And people are asking a very fair question. How am I supposed to keep up? I had to ask myself that same question because my insurance premiums doubled plus some this last year. Yeah. Now I want to be clear about something else. My opponent has supported policies that have made life harder for Louisiana families. And that's just not partisan talking points. That's just common sense. Because when you vote for laws that raise costs, threaten to close hospitals, and send billions overseas to fight wars that Congress didn't authorize, while telling hardworking Americans they need to pay more for gas and groceries, when you put party before the people, you shouldn't ask for a promotion, especially to the United States Senate. I believe Louisiana deserves a senator that's not loyal to no party, but to the people that live here. Now, over the past months, I've been all across this state and I've been listening. I've sat at kitchen tables. I've stood outside of churches after service. I've walked neighborhoods where folks are trying to figure out just how to make rent stretch till the next month. And I've heard stories that stick with me. The farmer from Vermilion Parish who called, worried about USDA programs, to the woman in St. James Parish that want to make sure I fight for disabled citizens, to have access to all public spaces, parks, polling places, boat launches, hunting and wildlife refuges, because they deserve the same rights that all of us do. To the woman in Lafayette who was worried about her Social Security, and she said, every time I get a raise, somehow the health care providers finds a way to squeeze more out of her Social Security. In turns, she keeps the same predicament, broke. To the woman in St. Landry Parish who her concerns was growing their family, she wanted me to fight for family rights for IVF treatments to be covered by the ACA coverages. These are not isolated stories. This is Louisiana that we live in right now. And I carry those voices with me. Because this campaign is not about me. It's about whether we can build a state where hard work actually leads somewhere. Where kids can grow up here and don't feel like they got to leave just to survive. Now, I know what some folks in Washington may say. They're saying it in Louisiana. They're saying I'm not supposed to be here. And I don't fit the mold. But I'll tell you what I am. I am someone who has built something from the ground up. I am someone who's worked in government and made it work for people. I am someone who's worked with Democrats and Republicans, including Bill Cassidy, securing millions to replace that lead-filled water system. That's not theory. That's common sense. And that's what I intend to take to Washington. So tonight, we made history. But what few people know is P.B.S. Pinchback was never seated, despite winning the seat twice because of the color of his skin. What we're going to do is write a new chapter in history of Louisiana. And we're going to do that by talking directly to voters, not millionaires, nor corporate lobbyists, or party bosses. This campaign is going to be in every parish, every neighborhood, and every corner of this state. Because Louisiana doesn't need more division. We need common sense. We need more problem solvers. And we need leaders who remember who they work for. And we win. I will do what's been denied to P.B.S. Pinchback. I will bring the concerns of Louisiana to the United States Senate. To my Creator, thank you for the protection and guidance all along the highways. There were many nights that you drove me home. To my wife, Brenda, thank you for your love and grace. To my children, I am so proud of you. To my campaign staff and volunteers, thank you for your efforts. And to the public officials who took time to lend me advice along the way, thank you also. And to those who endorsed and supported me, thank you also. The history of this moment belongs to the voters that made it happen. Thank you for your trust and your encouragement and your vote. I want each of you to know how much it means to me to have earned your support. Our campaign has just turned into a movement. Yes, united we win. Now let's go finish what we started. I need you to listen because these words are very, very powerful. Because we must be the engineers of our own future. No one is coming to save us. And we have an opportunity in unity for one Louisiana. Thank you. And in a joking manner, I got to bring in Coach Prime. Somebody play my theme music. Thank y'all. It means so much to me. What I want to say to everybody is that the way I was raised, my father always told me, there is a time for everything. You can't be one way all the time. There is a time to work. There is a time to play. There is a time to rest. And there is a time for some to pray. So it is time for us to go to work because we know that moving forward, this journey that we are on the path to go on, it has just gotten real. And I want to say to all of the young people that has something that they really want to do, But someone may say you don't fit the mold, or you don't talk right, or you don't dress right. Because I've been told that I am not the prototypical candidate, but I will say to them, with hard work and determination, anything is possible. Because I stand before you for the future of Louisiana. I could have easily stayed home and just end my farming career gracefully like most old farmers do. But what good would it do if I just sat back and watch Louisiana go in a path that people don't want to live here? Because of course they don't want to live in rural Louisiana, no parts of the state, because it is going in the wrong direction. And I will end it up right there by saying thank you all for coming out, and I really do appreciate every one of y'all.